Hello there, Year 8 Geography lesson. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to continue our geography studies, and the next Central European country we are going to learn about is right behind me, Slovakia. Let's start with some history. When I was a child, we didn't call this country Slovakia. The name was Czechoslovakia. And so Slovakia was once part of this bigger country, and this country was controlled by the Soviet Union. In 1993, the two countries were separated, and the Slovakian economy, of course, was really hit by this big change because it relied really much on Czech money and the resources and the industries there. And the majority of the population is Slovak or Slovakian. Still, quite a lot of Hungarian people live especially in the southern parts, around 600,000 Hungarian people. So this is the most important historical background. Just one nice landscape image, because you can find here young folded mountain ranges in the country. Later on we will speak about these. Some facts. If you check the information here, you can easily see that the country is actually smaller than Hungary, about half the size, and even the population is much less than Hungary's population, around 5,400,000 people. The capital city is Bratislava, or Hungarian name Pozsony. So I'm going to circle this one. Let's write the neighboring countries around our map. Please open your workbook at page 58 and let's write these there in the workbook. I'm just going to show you. In the north there's Poland, so you can just write it there in the workbook. Which country is this one here in the east of Slovakia? The Ukraine. I'm just going to use an abbreviation here. South of the country is Hungary. And the western border there is with Austria. So I'm going to put an A there in the west. And of course, in the northwestern part of the country, it still borders, it has a common border with the Czech Republic. I will just write this here because it can be challenging to write the word Czech, the Czech Republic. Okay? So now we have the bordering countries. I would like to show you the official flag of Slovakia as well. Now let's continue exploring the landscapes of the country. As you can see, most parts of the map is colored brown, brownish, yellowish. So it means that there are plenty of hills, hillocks, mountain ranges in the region. And I'm going to show you an image of the most famous part, the high Tatras. Many people come here as a tourist, nice resort places. You can go there skiing. It looks quite like the Alps, just a tiny bit smaller. And the name is High Tatras. So if you have a look at your workbook again, on page 58, you can just write the names there. The High Tatras is the northern part of the mountain ranges of the Carpathians, and the Low Tatras are in the south compared to High Tatras. The Slovak Ore Mountains, Erzhetség is the next one. This is the southernmost. And then there's one more important part. Dobšina is a small town there, and the next place, the next landscape is named after this town. It's called Dobšina Karst Plateau, with plenty of caves, and there's even an ice cave in the region. some images of the high Tatras. This is the tallest peak called Görlökovski. It's 2,655 meters tall. Here you can see an image of the peak. And the low Tatras, some people like calling it the Slovakian paradise because it has stunning, picturesque areas with really nice valleys and beautiful peaks and even canyon-like parts. And as I mentioned, near Dobšina on the Karst Plateau there are plenty of caves. This one is an ice cave. The temperature doesn't really rise above 1-2 degrees Celsius, not even in summer. Tourists can visit this place until around June. Then we would kind of exhale air, warm air, and it would melt the ice. So you can visit this place in early spring or spring. After that, they just close this cave and it can cool down again so people can see the ice formations. What about the flat areas of Slovakia? So let's continue with this part in the workbook on page 58. The next one is Csallukas, which is basically the continuation of Hungary's small plain or little plain area. So this part here, yeah, Csallukas, and the Slovak plain, which is right along the Danube. So Slovak plain, and not so easy to put here. Some dots can symbolize this, the Slovak plain. Okay, so all along the Danube. And now I mentioned one of the long rivers of the country as well, because on the border of Hungary you can find the Danube, but there are two more big rivers in the west. This is why I put this here, so western part. There's the river Vach. I will write it here. The Hungarian name is Vág, yeah, Vach. And there's one more river, River Hron, which is Garam in Hungarian. So the Hungarian name is totally different. It's written here. So Hron. Okay. And the bigger cities, let's see. We mentioned the capital Bratislava, Komárno is an important port, and Košice. Yeah, these are the biggest cities. Just one more image. This is the river Hron. Some people are kayaking there. And because, as you can see, there are more smaller rivers in Slovakia, hydroelectric plants are really important. Expensive to build these, establish the whole feature, but then it's a relatively cheap way to produce water energy. In Slovakia, nuclear power is also important because the whole country really relies on rock oil and natural gas coming in from Russia. So they needed to have some other alternative ways of producing energy, and nuclear power was a solution to that problem. So they have nuclear power stations in Slovakia. They look quite like this from a distance. Yeah. If you go to the capital city, I have a nice image of Bratislava. Yeah. It's an important port on the river Danube. You can see the river in the foreground. So the chemical industry is important in the capital, but the whole city and the industry, oil refineries, use Russian natural gas and rock oil. In the Slovak or mountain region and even in the Tatras, logging is important, so paper industry is based on this and timber is used, as you can see it in the picture. But there are bigger steel works as well in the country. In the city of Košice, Kassa, But Slovakia doesn't have enough iron ore and black coal, so again they need to import these from different countries, mainly again Russian sources. But don't forget please that Poland has quite a lot of black coal, while Germany has quite a lot of brown coal still. Okay, then we can also mention in Bratislava the electrotechnical sector with engineering industry. So this is the industrial capital of the country as well. Košice is another important industrial center. There's one more city there, Komárno, which has one part in Hungary. If you heard the name Komárom, it's that. So you can just cross the Danube there and you can find yourself in Komárno, a really big Danube port. So you can see these huge cranes which can help shipping. And a nice image of the Slovak plain, Čalukas, and the area where agriculture is important. Of course, they can produce all the important crops of the temperate climate zone, like in Hungary they have corn and wheat and sugar beets, tobacco, and maybe one special plant should be mentioned. Hops are important. That is Humulus lupulus, that is the Latin name. The Hungarian name is Komló. If you ever tasted beer, you know that it has a special kind of bitterness of it, and this plant gives that kind of special bitter feel to beer. So this is why I wanted to mention that. Cattle is also important. There are plenty of creameries and special farms in the countries, and 60% of these cows are bred in free stalls. So that's one more important thing. And I would like to finish the Slovakian chapter by showing you one of the nice heritage sites of the country, the Domica cave system, which is the continuation of the Hungarian Baradla cave system. So if you visit Slovakia, you can just check some underground features there as well. There are some people traveling there in that boat. And I would like to close the presentation with a nice image of Košice. The Hungarian name is Kassa. So please check the chapters of your book, page 54 and 55. And now, when you finish reading the chapters, I would like you to work in the workbook again. So basically we have completed the first two tasks. After this you need to name in task 3 the rivers, and you need to symbolize them on the map. In task 4, name the resources, then the energy resources and where they can import these from. And then task 6 is about the names of industries and products of different towns. You can find more information in the book. On page 59 in task 7 you need to underline the names of the agricultural plants of the country. Again, the book can help you, and my video footage as well. And then the names of the animals that are not bred in Slovakia. So be careful here. You need to underline the ones which are not typical there in the country. So, keep up good work. Bye-bye.